The Russian gas imports saying they were funding the killings. Not a penny should go to Russia anymore, Klitschko told German newspaper Bild. That's bloody money used to slaughter people. The gas and oil embargo must come immediately. Officials in France, Germany, Italy, Estonia, and UK separately condemned what was being described and vowed that Russia would be held accountable. This is not a battlefield, it's a crime scene, Estonian Prime Minister Kaja Kallas tweeted. Authorities said they were documenting evidence to add that to their case for prosecuting Russian officials for war crimes. As Russian forces retreated from the area around the capital, they pressed their sieges in other parts of the country. Russia has said it is directing troops to Donbass in eastern Ukraine, where Russia-backed separatists have been fighting Ukrainian forces for 8 years. In that region, Mariupol, a port on the Sea of Azov, was seeing some of the war's greatest suffering, remaining cut off. 100,000 civilians, less than a quarter of the pre-war population of 430,000, are believed to be trapped there with little or no food, water, and fuel and medicine. The International Committee of the Red Cross said Sunday that a team sent Saturday to help evacuate residents had yet to reach the city. Ukrainian authorities said Russia agreed days ago to allow safe passage from the city, but similar agreements have broken down repeatedly under the continued shelling. Supermarket parking lot in the city in Zaporizhzhia, meanwhile, has become a staging ground for helping people who have made it out. Picheva Elena, who fled the besieged city, told Great Britain's Sky News she was forced to leave the body of her husband unburied when he was killed in shooting. There was shelling and we tried to drag him away, but it was too much. We couldn't do it, explained her daughter, Kristina Katrikova. The mayor of Chernihiv, which also has been under attack for weeks, said Sunday that the relentless Russian shelling has destroyed 70% of the northern city. Like in Mariupol, Chernihiv has been cut off from shipments of food and other supplies. On Sunday morning, Russian forces launched missiles on the Black Sea port of Odessa in southern Ukraine, setting up clouds in the dark smoke that veiled parts of the city. The Russian military said the targets were an oil processing plant and fuel depots around Odessa, which is Ukraine's largest port and home to its navy. The Odessa City Council said Ukraine's air defense shot down some missiles before they hit the city. Ukrainian military spokesman Vladislav Nazarov said there were no casualties from the attack. The regional governor in Kharkiv said Sunday that Russian artillery and tanks performed over 20 strikes in Ukraine's second largest city, the outskirts of this country's northeast over the past day. The head of Ukraine's delegation to talk with Russia said Moscow's negotiators informally agreed to most of the draft proposal discussed during the face-to-face talks in Istanbul this week, but no written confirmation has been provided. Ukrainian negotiator David Arkamaya said on Ukrainian TV that he hoped the proposal was developed enough so Zelensky and the Russian President Vladimir Putin could meet to discuss it, but the top Russian negotiator in talks with Ukraine, Vladimir Medinsky, was quoted by the Interfax news agency as saying it was too early to talk about meeting between the two leaders. Said the city, Mariupol, there was 100,000 civilians, a quarter of Ukraine's population before the war 8 years ago. Mariupol, they need help. So there's a massacre and they need help. It's like the city country of Puerto Rico, but they were making coats. They had money from their coats. Right, it's a distinct species of Ukrainian Slavic country. Like they said, they're all a distinct kind of Ukrainian. Like each country is individual, right? And like a Puerto Rican, yeah.